Hi everyone, Shelly here with Life Creates Art. Thank you so much for joining me. And this is a part of our acrylic series. This is part 3. We're going to be doing a spin pour, a colander pour, and a swipe. Part of this channel is all about discovering and trying new things and reaching forward and experimenting. And so this is just all a part of showing you basic techniques so that you can take those at home and do them yourself, apply them yourself. And of course, I'm here if you have any questions. So let's get started. First, we're going to do a spin pour. Woohoo! Okay, now first we are going to do a spin pour. And I wanted to show you this because I have created sort of this little handy dandy box because my husband and I were talking about this and we realized that when this thing spins, it's gonna go fly everywhere. So I got this box that held something from Amazon, and so I just wrapped some plastic around it, the same plastic that's covering my table from Home Depot. And also you can get little spinners at certain art stores, but I just used one of my tabletop spinners that I had, or tabletop. I use these in my kitchen counter and all of that to hold things, but it didn't cost me a thing. And I'm fine sacrificing it for art. Some things just need to be sacrificed for art. And again, I wrapped a little plastic around that and have a little tape on it to hold it to the spin thing. And I know this has a name. I'll find out. Lazy Susan. Thank you, husband. Lazy Susan. And then I have my 8x10 canvas. And what I've done just to secure it to the Lazy Susan is I've taken these little 3M strips. And I just got them from hanging little hooks, and I just put the little 3M strips just so I can pull it off and it's not going to rip anything. So I'm setting it inside of my box. Now also you have to make sure that everything is even so that it's not going to tip and all of that paint is going to come off. Here's an example of one that we did last week, and once we left it, because it was on the push pins and I didn't have those even, the thing just slid to one side and really ruined the painting. So for this one, I'm going to be using white, which I've already mixed, and I am going to add a little bit of silicone to this. I've got some green. This is a metallic green. And then I'm using kind of a, sort of almost a neon. And this is just Craft Smart. And then another darker sort of neon. So I'm sort of going with the green family today. And the one thing I want to remind you of is that these paints, Artist Loft paints and any other type of paints that you get, the Art District ones, they're going to come out a little thicker into your cup. You may need to use a little bit more pouring medium. Whereas these little Craft Smart ones, they are very thin paint already, and so you won't need as much, but still it's a 50-50 combination. So, and then of course, I've got my Liquitex pouring medium and water and alcohol. So I'm going to add a little bit of my silicone from Home Depot, and then just mix these a little bit for just a second. Now for this one, I'm going to show you close up. I'm going to pour, but I'm going to put white on the outside, and then hopefully that will help it to move faster. So be right back with just the pour. All right, here we are with our spin pour. So as you can see, I have reused some of my little stirrers here. I'm just going to pour a little bit of white all around the edges. And then spread it out a little bit. This is going to be fun. I'm super excited about this one. Okay. Now, that's the white. So I'm going to start with some of the greens. I'm just going to do just a puddle pour, basic puddle pour. And I did this one, the first video, and I don't need a whole lot of paint for this, but I'm hoping that, do you remember that little spin art? I don't know how old all of you are, but I remember that little spin art that we used to be able to get at Toys R Us, and it was so much fun. It had this little thing you would pour the paint on and watch it spin. And that was so much fun to do as a kid. All right, I'm going to add just a little bit of white to the center of this. And then a couple more colors. It's kind of already falling. You can see that this is not even. Can you tell how it's flowing to one side already? So I better get to work on this spinning here. Okay, so let's get to work here. Are you ready? Here we go. Woohoo! Oh, okay, spin it faster. Ah! Oh man. Wow. So it's not staying. Okay, so this is not a bad thing, because now you can see where things can go wrong. So I'm just going to move that and see if I can get this to spin faster. It's really not working. All right, not giving up. Nope, not giving up. Not giving up. I refuse to give up. Well, folks, I think that probably my paint is not thin enough, and I couldn't get this to spin fast enough. So we're going to try it one more time. Okay, so clearly that was kind of a fiasco. But what I want to show you is that sometimes life will give you lemon, and then you have to make lemonade. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to make lemonade. I've already got my little wooden Lazy Susan here. And so I'm just going to make a pouring creation with my Lazy Susan. And like I said, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And you keep going and you keep creating. This is all a discovery process. And I assure you, I will be trying to discover how I can secure my canvas to the spinning apparatus. I've seen other YouTubers who actually have attached it to fan blades, and everybody gets really, really creative when it comes to these spin pours. And so it's all about just continuing to try. If you quit trying and quit experimenting, then you're kind of lost in life. You have to keep moving forward. Like I said, lemons, you make lemonade. And so that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, folks, here we go. I have a new Lazy Susan. I'm throwing paint everywhere. My husband's ducking back there. Oh, there's paint on your pants, babe. All right, so it's just this part that didn't really get covered with some paint, but I can touch that up. And this is a lot of fun, you guys. A lot of fun. So a little more success with the Lazy Susan only and not the canvas. And I have a new Lazy Susan that I'm going to be able to put some lacquer on this and have some fun. And there's a little chunk there. And we'll show you the end result of this one after it is sat for a while. Okay, on to the colander pour. All right, everybody, now we're going to do our colander pour. So I've already put some gesso on my canvas. I just want the paint to run really smoothly. I'm using different shades of lavender and pink and some purple here. You can see there. And I put silicone in only the white. Only the white is silicone. So we'll see how that goes. And so what I'm going to do here is set my colander on top. And then we just begin to pour. Again, you're piling up the paint and just allowing it to pour through the colander. And I'm already seeing it come through, and it's making a really cool design. You can see it starting right here, which is really fun. And we're just going to keep layering and layering. There's a little less white now, that one. And I'm hoping that we'll see some of those cells come through too on the white. And it'll affect the other paints that don't have cells. So going back to the little fiasco we just had with the spin pour, sometimes mistakes happen and you have to just find a way to push through and move through your mistakes and make something even more beautiful, which I love, love, love my Lazy Susan now. It's pretty awesome. I've made a new Lazy Susan. And whoa, that's a lot of white. I went really crazy there. Try to, my lavender's almost done, but you can see how it's starting to, because of the silicone, it's already getting affected. I'm going to keep going here with layering, use up all of my paint. Okay, and scrape the pink. Come on, pink. Come on, pink. And I'm going to put just a touch of white there. It's already running off the edges. I don't know if you can see that right here. Yes, you probably can. Let me move the camera a little bit. So it's starting to run off the edges on the side here. There you go. You see that? And so now I've let this sit for a little bit. I'm going to see what happens when I lift very slowly and just let that drip from the center. Well, that's pretty neat. I've got this cool little designs on the end and then this neat little flower thing in the center. So I'm just going to try to maintain that center, but allow that to pour over to the sides. And then got some bubbles I need to pop. You know, my husband was trying to fix my, well, I'm kind of losing that center, and he was trying to fix my blowtorch because there's clearly something wrong with it. But when you want to maintain a center, you should always sort of work the paint back towards the center. So I like the Colander Pour. I like the little designs that it creates and the lines that it creates. Look at those bubbles. You see those bubbles? Those need to be popped. I'm going to do a little more stretching here and then try to bring that back to the center. And then get my torch here. Try to pop some of those bubbles and then bring up some more cells, hopefully. Oh yeah. Yeah, so clearly there's something wrong with my blowtorch, which is fine. Little stinker blowtorch. Yeah, but you can see more cells coming up through here. Let's see if I can. All right. Well, hopefully that will continue to change. But I really like the Colander Pour. Colander Pour. All right, so here we have a swipe. Now we are going to, you can see all the colors of paints that I've decided to use over here, including our white that we've kind of carried over through all of them. And this looks like it's very thick, but I'm going to add a thicker layer and the lavender and the yellow. I love this color, that turquoise color. And this is a metallic. You can see there. Add a little black. And some more white on the end. And we'll add some white on these ends as well. So now, you can see how this is sitting here. It's surrounded by this white, and this is called a swipe. So now we're going to swipe. I'm just using a cardboard top. Ooh, I'm going to move my paints, actually. And we're going to very, very gently swipe over the top. You don't want to wipe off all of the paint, but you can see it's already working there. All right, I'm going to pull it back this way again and maybe curve it. Look at those cells, those are fun. Try to cover this little corner here. So you're just swiping the paint. I love this. This is cool. See if I can get some of that lavender to come through. And pop some bubbles here. You'll see it's not quite covered over here, so I'm going to move this around a little bit. See what I can do about that. I'm kind of losing those cells, but still, this is fun. All right, so guess what? I'm going to do another swipe. See what happens there. All right. This is a fun one. It's got some cool designs. All right. So I'm going to let this sit, because I like how it's got that break right there, and I want to see what happens with it, what comes up with it. Not a lot of lavender showed up, which is kind of disappointing. I really wanted a little more lavender. Maybe I'll just add it. Hey, how about that? Okay, well, I kind of wish I had left it the way it was before, but again, this is all part of it. Got a lot of fun things going on through here, and I'm sure that this is going to change quite a lot. But, you know, this process is all about having fun and creating and experimenting. Some things are going to work, some things are not, as you saw in our spin pour. And but again, we were given lemons and we made lemonade. And then the Colander pour, my paint probably could have been a lot thicker, which would have helped this give some cooler designs. And then this swipe. I like the swipe. I think it's pretty cool. You can have a lot of fun with it. Okay, you guys, here's the 3, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.